Julius Malema is not a revolutionary but an instrument of white supremacy.
Our biggest enemy and immediate enemy that we are dealing with now is MKP.
The leader of your former political home, Mr. Julius Malema, said that the agenda of the MK party is to destroy the EFF. How do you respond to such claims?
I'm not even aware of that. But one thing which we know is that Mkhonto weSizwe is not existing to destroy any political party. The EFF was not voted by 91% of the people of South Africa. So there is no need to concentrate our energy in trying to destroy the economic freedom fighters. Our focus is to persuade a lot of progressive forces to associate with Mkhonto weSizwe. And we are successfully doing such, and we are not in the business of destroying political parties.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Floyd Shivambu has responded to Julius Malema's claims. Please give this video a thumbs up as we unpack further. Well, South Africans are actually split over Shivambu's response because it looked like he was the mature one. Just look at the way that Floyd Shivambu answered the journalist with a question that he was not even prepared for, and he went on to make a whole elevator pitch. Did you hear how he went on to describe the EFF and described the agenda of the MK and then went on to recruit at the very same time? That is politics. That is politics, guys. Well, he handled that very well, and most of the people on the social networks were impressed that he did not go below the belt but kept it professional this time, whereas before he had called him names, calling him gangster, calling, saying there's no brotherhood. But he was so civil at when he was asked this question about his response to the EFF, Julius Malema saying that the MK is now their enemy. I think they have realized that the MKP means business, guys. Let's be honest. These numbers that they are pulling in their different rallies are insane. Even the numbers that they did at the elections were amazing for a first-time young party. That was also a massive showing for the EFF. So they definitely still have a great support. But what the MK is doing, it cannot be ignored.
Those who joined Mkhonto weSizwe, whether they were members of the ANC or EFF or DA or ATM or whatever organization, they do so out of their own political consciousness. These are adults who fall into superior alternatives. They realize that there is a proper vehicle that is assembling the best of the best. Let us associate with it.
The enemy that we are dealing with now is MKP. We don't want to see anything that has got to do with that.
I was one of the first people to point out that Julius Malema is not a revolutionary but an instrument of white supremacy, particularly after he left London with a meeting with the Queen and came back here being handled by Renwick. He all of a sudden became an instrument that occupies the revolutionary space, speaks the right language, gives the youth of South Africa and Africa hope that he will be able to bring transformation, when indeed he's just there to bring down the frustration and to stop a revolution from taking place or being driven by the masses. He is now wanting us to fight MKP. He will never be a revolutionary. He is a sellout. However, he is not the only person that is selling out. MKP itself has joined white supremacy. MKP is coming across as if black Africans are their enemies, yet Jacob Zuma's kids grew up in African countries.
Even white people who want to come and show their agricultural equipments, they are a company that deals with agricultural equipments, come, because we are the people of the land. When you deal with agriculture, you are dealing with us.
And this is what I'm talking about. Black South Africans have a problem in not understanding their enemy, how their enemy operates, and hence they always focus on trying to partner the enemy and also trying to vilify and fight their own. But the problem is Black South Africans don't learn. Shaka Zulu began to attack other tribes at the time that the British and Afrikaners began their wars to take land, cattle, and people. And some of us were even used by white supremacy. When will Black South Africans wake up to fully understand your threat and what it is that is threatening you?
The last president is a gift from the leadership of Gauteng. So Zolimbazi Sibia is presenting the gift to the president.
Rutendo's views are really extreme. Let's take a look at those. Rutendo, first of all, is a Zimbabwean who mostly spends his time in South Africa. In fact, for the longest time, he moonlighted as a South African, but he was found out. He is actually what he calls a sanction activist. He's a brand strategist, and he is now putting out the most extreme view of Malema that we have ever heard. How can a Zimbabwean blame a Malema of not supporting Africans? The same Malema who's obviously had to lose a lot of votes because of his stance on immigration in South Africa. From there, he just cancelled himself. From there, all of his views are insane. He goes on to blame Shaka and blame South African people for not understanding the threat. What do you mean, bruh? Because in Zimbabwe right now, they took back the land rights, and even South Africa, even Malema supported that act. But they have been suffering for more than a decade with sanctions for that action, right? And then you have them now paying back the money to those farmers. They pretended to be big dogs and having a strategy, but that strategy backfired. It was not well executed, and hence they are now having to pay back the money in order to release the tension of these so-called sanctions rather. And not just that, the very same breadbasket of Africa is having to kill elephants just to feed a community. Please, instead of Zimbabwe telling us to learn from them, Zimbabwe should be learning from South Africa how we do it in South Africa. In fact, people criticize Mandela's move, but what Mandela did is look out for his children. He took down his pride and he thought about the future and how this collaboration can go ahead with those, of course, who are willing. Those who are racist and who are not willing, they are welcome to leave the shores of South Africa. And there is a court that is established in South Africa. It's called the Land Claims Court. That court is underutilized. And who is it that is not utilizing it? It is our leaders, right? But asiko lapho, we're not there. Let's come back to the issue at hand, which is the Floyd and the Malema situation, how Malema was responding to MKP and how MKP responded in return. So in that matter, let's talk about how Malema responded. I feel like Malema was just protecting his party, because it is clear that the MKP are targeting EFF, even though they deny it, saying that people move there because they see better prospects, that it is a viable vehicle for emancipation, what. But the truth is, Bosisiwe Mkhwebana told us that she was recruited rather, and Floyd Shivambu was recruited. There are lots of others that were recruited, but there are also others that left on their or joined on their own. But they can't deny that they were targeting the EFF. So in that view, Malema has to now defend his political party, because if a person constantly puts a knife against your throat or a gun against your head, that is definitely an indication of them being hostile towards you. Therefore, that's my view. Let me know what you think on that matter. But also, then there enters the MKP. Floyd Shivambu's response. Yeah, as you have heard it for yourself, they feel that the EFF is not even a threat because they were rejected by 91% of the majority in South Africa in terms of votes, but they cannot deny that the EFF is the most effective party, together with the DA guys, because they are holding the ANC accountable. In that parliament, the EFF gets us answers. They get the debate going. They are on the ground for the people, defending the people. The EFF is very influential and they have not dwindled in that power. We saw them at the Concord coming with a sea of red barrettes, so they still have a support. So what the MKP is trying to do is assassinate their character and making them look like a Mickey Mouse party. That's my thought. Let's talk about it down below. Now, looking at their celebrations as the MKP, those celebrations are looking well organized. That regalia that they have on, those designs are beautiful. In fact, the ANC has come out to claim that they are using the same logos as that of the ANC's anniversaries logo. But at the end of the day, the designs of MKP, they are top notch. We give them 10 out of 10 for designs. They have various variations, and hopefully all that money is going into the party for their merchandise. Otherwise, who would be funding them? Because wow, they are moving as though they are funded by a billionaire. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on their celebrations, and it looks well prepared. And going into the 15th of December, they will fill up Moses Mabhida for sure, considering that it's also December as well. And there is always an appetite for a good get-together in South Africa during that time. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Let's talk about your sentiments down below. This one was a quite thought-provoking. I'm still shocked at Rutendo's sentiments. Yes, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.